Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 30 of May I Scraplift You, a hop started by Crystal Barrett with pineapple papers. And today I am scraplifting Document Aloha, and I will give you a close-up of her layout with her Instagram on there. Like I said, it is document.aloha, and I love this layout. It was so cute, and originally I had skipped over this because something to do with another hop that it wasn't going to work for. And so I had a different day this month that I did not have planned, and I was excited because I love this layout. So I have these two pictures of my husband and my son wearing a raccoon hat at Sportsman's Warehouse. So I have these raccoon stickers from a plethora of companies, and I'm not sure which ones I might use, so I brought them all out. And then I thought I might use these Mondo Llama Alphas as my title. I don't, spoiler alert. But I had pulled those out and with the title in mind. And so then the other thing is she's got this strip down the middle, and it actually looks like it's made up of like scraps and little tags. And that excites me. Anything to use up scraps makes me happy. So I pulled out my scrap drawer. This is just a 12 by 12 drawer, one of those 3 drawer, I think Sterilite brand. And I just keep my pattern paper scraps in here, especially if they're multicolored. So I figured I'd just pull stuff out of there and create that little piece in the middle. And so that totally will fulfill my 2022 goal of using a scrap every day. So I got my papers, my embellishments in this layout. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing I did was I took this Recollections gray wash wood paper, and this is a thin paper. It's not cardstock, so it's super thin, and I really wanted to use a wood grain like she did. So I decided I would mat mine. I don't think hers is matted. It doesn't look like it. But I thought I would mat mine, so I trimmed my wood grain down to like 11. It's more than 11 and a half, but not as much as 11 and 3/4. And so then I trimmed this piece of orange paper, which is the same as the background paper. And instead of having a scallop that is cut and pretty and the same, mine is just going to be torn. I do love a torn paper. And so I just tore mine. This is something a little over a year ago I would just like cringe at. I could not handle watching people tear paper. But I joined Scrapbooking the Day Away with Anne-Marie Bryant, and she has encouraged me to do it, and I do it all the time now. So thanks, Anne-Marie. So I put that down on the wood grain, and it really just looks like I've tucked that wood grain into a flap on that paper because it's the same color. And since it's a cardstock, it gives it a base. So I cut the picture of my husband down a little bit more. I don't know if you can tell, but I cut off where my son took the picture and his finger got in the way. So there was like a finger in the picture. But the one of my son, I didn't want to cut down anymore because I love the way he's standing with his hands on his fists on his side. And then in the background, you can see like the stuffed animal. And when I say stuffed, I mean like a real animal. Back in the background, I think it's a bear or something. I can't tell. The picture's too far away from me right now. But there's like backpacks and camping gear and stuff in the background. I really don't want to cut that out because it kind of adds to the story. So they had been to Sportsman's Warehouse together, and they found this raccoon hat and put it on and took pictures of each other, which I never get pictures. Well, I rarely get pictures from him. So when my husband sends me pictures, I just have to document. So, and right now I'm doing 2019 chronologically. So I am working on this one because I thought it would be fun. So I decide that I'm going to cut a strip of paper that goes down the middle and build on it so that I'm not trying to even out everything in the middle. So I originally cut it at 3 inches, but that was a smidge too wide. It was going to touch the inner parts, and I didn't want that. I wanted a full stripe of orange down both sides. So I trimmed it down to like 2 3/4. And then I just have these scraps that I pulled out of my scrap bin that I felt would go well either with the camping, hiking, outdoorsy feel or with that orangey yellow color. So a couple of these papers are simple stories. That very first one I put on that says hello, smile, like in the speech bubbles. There's another one that is like a yellow plaid. That is also simple stories. Then one of them, I trimmed down this little cut apart that came from I think it was Park Lane, but it could have been a Recollections paper pad. And I just got it down to where all I have left is some scraps. And I think it's something like Cozy Neutrals. I think that's the paper pad it came from. This little paper here has got like little trees with like text print in it. And then there's another one I'm going to use that has text print with colored leaves and stuff. And that is from a Paper Studios paper pad. And then one of these is from a Cherry Art scraps that I have left in my bin. That one I just put down with the orange and yellowy color. And then that one piece over there that I just picked up, I made that doing a lift. Like I had sprayed out something, and so I didn't lose all that ink. I just did a lift with some white paper, and I love the colors in it, the green and the orange, and I thought it would go really well with this layout. So I just used a little bit of that. There's a little piece of like an Amy Tangerine or maybe Vicky Booten. That blue and white stripe. I think it's Amy Tan. Oh, y'all, sometimes I use them for so long and then I'm like, and so that's pretty much what's there. And then there's a Jen Hadfield, that little sunshine paper is Jen Hadfield. So I just literally use scraps. And then I finish it up with that smile and the camera. And she actually has that same, not the same camera, but a camera on hers. So I love that. And I get that laid down to what, like I said, I wanted to make sure there was orange on either side. And I really love that. And I'm thinking I'm going to use this yellow color. It's not the same paper, but this is a scrap from a paper pad, which I end up pulling down. And it's from the Paper Studios. It's called Entirely Texture. It is super thin paper, but every piece has, see, like that wood grain, or it's some kind of a texture looking paper. But there is no, I mean, it is as flat and as thin as could be. Now look what I'm doing, you all. I'm writing down the date on the back of the picture, and I also wrote Sportsman's Warehouse, so I wouldn't forget that either. See, I made the mistake a couple days ago and did not write the date and had to pull out my list. So I wrote the date down, and I don't write that on this layout during the video, but I am writing it before I put it away. So I'm having an issue with these pictures. I really want, because the look my son has on his face, he's like staring off at something. I really wanted it to be next to my husband's picture, but then it just didn't work. And I really do love the way that she has hers like on top of each other. So I just have his up on the top because it's bigger and it's got more information or, details in the picture. And then my husband is going to go below, and he's making eyes at the camera because my son is taking the picture. And I would assume at the time my son was 10. I just think this is hysterical. I love these pictures. So I was going to put this card down as part of one of the pieces that go and then add an actual title. But I decided to use this because I thought this was the perfect title for this layout. So I fussy cut it because it wasn't going to look right with that big chunk. It was going to cover too much. So I just pretty much fussy cut it out, leaving a black border around the whole thing. And then I got my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and I just grabbed my water because I'm super thirsty. That's what you just saw. Anyway, I don't know why I need to tell you that. But anyway, so I just put the Nuvo Deluxe on the back of each of those, just kind of draw around so I don't have anything lifting up. And I put that down on the paper. And I love the way, of course, I drop it, no big deal. Glue all over my mat. No, it's fine. I don't want to cover up the camera and the smile, and I really don't want to cover up all the other papers, so the only thing that really gets covered is mostly that sunshine, but you can still see it kind of shooting out behind the word fun. So I love that. And so then I get out my fabulous stickers. Now let me tell you something about these stickers, you all. Some of these stickers are older than you. I am looking at these, and this one set of stickers I'll pull that you see right there on the left are dated 1992 Hallmark cards. Yeah, I have like 3 sheets of those, and I'm almost positive I got those when I was in college, and to put on like cards and letters that I sent home back in the day when I wrote letters and cards all the time. The ones that I'm using right now are Sandy Lion, and I'm just using a little bit of one that I had cut off. I don't know how old these are. There is no date on here, but I would be willing to say they are significantly... Oh, no, 2001. They dated 2001. And then there's some that are Susie Zoo. And I think that is the one that I haven't done it yet. That one right there is the one from 1992 Hallmark card. And so it is not touching the picture, it's under the paper. If it's not acid and lignin free, I try my best to remember not to put it on the actual, like, touching the picture. Those Susie Zoos are actually marked, I think, acid and lignin free. Anyway, they are scrapbook stickers. Like, that's what they are intended for. And then this cute little raccoon here that I put down is one of the Susie Zoos. And then, and it's just resting on top of the word have. And then these green ones, I've never used a single sticker off this sheet. There's somebody's signed the bottom, and it looks like it says Dan Morris. I don't know what that means. And it says 2006 Cartwell Studio Incorporated. I mean, seriously, you all. Seriously old. Okay. So I apologize for the crazy sounds. My desk is creaky. Yep, that one. So I got a pinout because on her layout, it looks like there's either holes punched or little polka dots all around the scallop. And so I do that up the one side and down the other. And so now I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to still use these alphas, and I decide not to. I'm just going to leave the Just Have Fun as my title. And then I pull the Tim Holtz Snarky out because I felt like this was another layout that was appropriate for snarky commentary. You know, a lot of the snarky comments are mean, and I just, I have a really hard time using them. So when I can find a layout that uses them and that it's not like going to be offensive, I do that. So the first one I put on below my husband's picture says he could see no good reason to act his age. And my husband's pretty serious and doesn't normally act goofy, but he obviously is in his pictures. And then the one below it says, words cannot express how much I just don't care, because he obviously didn't care that he looked like a doofus. And then the other one I pull out that I'm putting down now says, I don't like to think before I speak. I like to be just as surprised as everyone else about what comes out of my mouth. And that is super fitting for my husband and my son. So then I get out these enamel accents by Ranger, and I use the white on the orange, and then I get my black ones out and use those on the wood grain. And I think I'm pretty much done at this point. I really love this layout. I want to do this again with another set of pictures, maybe something real colorful and bright and shiny. But I do really enjoy this layout. I hope you will go and check out her Instagram account. She had a lot of really awesome options, and I just really enjoyed scrolling through all the different possibilities. And, I just try and think, I have these pictures I really need to document 2 pictures or these 4 pictures. So let me try and find a layout that'll work for that. So I enjoy that. And I always enjoy the ability to use scraps, since that especially is my goal for 2022. And I have so far succeeded in getting a scrap or more on every layout. That was a little blurry at first. So there it is up close. If you want to go in the comments. I keep saying the comments, you all. If you want to go in the description box below, you'll see all of the people who are hopping along with May I Scraplift You. I hope that you will go and check them out. And I will be back tomorrow with a super fun hop, a celebratory hop, and the last day of May I Scraplift You. I hope to see you then. And have a great night. Love the ones you love, and happy scrapping.